We'll have the brand new gym for camp. It'll be awesome. You guys, before you leave, should go to the trails. Even though it's not a nice day, you can explore the trails. I have 15 acres of land right here. And the kids love to hang out back there by the river. The river's incredible if you like nature. So a lot of kids hang out and dip their toes in the river. We have a swimming hole in the river. And we have 15 acres of trails running back behind the clay courts. You can explore a little bit because in the summer camp, if Leora's coming to summer, a lot of kids love it back there. That's kind of the idea, to be in nature, but high performance training. I just got lucky, you know. There's these clubs are like little gems. They're built in the 1980s around the country, these small clubs. And I drove by this place and I said, that's a really cool place. And I talked with the owner. The club was almost abandoned. I brought it back to life. It's a great story. It's a great story. I rebuilt the clay courts by hand, and I rejuvenated the place. Now we're doing another project with the new gym, and this is going to be really nice with couch. I have all couches coming, and we have a new cafe for all the kids here, like nice seating area. So it's going to be awesome. Well, we start first week of June, but the official camp starts June 16th. So June 16th is the start of like the official boarding weeks, and we do seven weeks starting June 16th. And then August 1st is the end. August 1st, I go to Spain. So I go to study in Spain for a couple weeks. And then I'm back August 17th. We have summer training. It's not like an official boarding camp, but we have like my normal training just like now, starting August 17th. So if you're around at the end of the summer, I'm back August 17th. Leo, are you ready? Okay. Let's talk about your ground strokes. Over here with me. I'm just losing my voice a little bit, but hopefully you can still hear me. But we should have good audio. I did a lesson recently, and it came out really nice. And the guy, nice guy, he follows my channel, and he's not a junior, he's an adult player. And we filmed it for him, and I was like, hey, you know, do you want to share it with my channel? He's like, yeah, I want to share it. You don't have to share your video. You can keep it private. If you want to share it, you can. But we shared it, and everybody, it went big. Like it got 15,000 views in 4 days. Now it says 16,000 views in the first week. And he's like famous now. His name's Joe. You can check out the video. It's a good one. Okay. But I do a lot of film video lessons, so I will give you a private YouTube link. You don't have to share it with the world, unless you want to. Okay, so do you remember the stuff about your forehand? Thank you. You know my buckets. These are from Spain. This is the Spanish buckets, el cubos. They call them los cubos in Spain. So it's like very sentimental for me because now in Spain they're using like normal baskets. They're starting to use normal baskets in a lot of places, so I'm sad. When I first traveled in Spain almost 20 years ago, they just used like old buckets for the balls. I thought it was so charming. I love it. Now, you know, sometimes what they use in Spain, little shopping carts. It's adorable. They have these little tiny shopping carts. I love that. Little tiny shopping carts, but I'm still partial. Like I'm always gonna use my cubos, my buckets. Okay, so we're just gonna aim for the yellow line and the big cone.
So above the yellow line?
Or you can try to hit the yellow line. Trying to hit the yellow line is a good target. And just work on the space. That's the big thing. The space, the distance. Like I'm gonna toss it like a little bit different. And however I toss it, you just work on getting in the best position that you can. And you know that your arm is a little bunched up. So you're always trying to get, the more you can think about going out, it's better. Just for the science of it, it's better to be a little more out. I have a new video that I'm posting about, I have a WTA video analysis of the WTA forehand, all the top pros. I mentioned that yesterday. But I analyze all, you know, Sabalenka, Rybakina, Navarro, all the top females in slow motion. And I think it would be good for you guys to watch. And you can see a lot of different styles. Some of the styles are more bent. And some of them, like Navarro, like Rybakina, are more away. And I want you to try to be more away. That's all, you know. And it's a process. So that one was very good. But I noticed when you played points yesterday, you started to get like this again. So like you work on it in drills, and then this is for her coach back home, right, too. You work on it in drills, and then you do hitting, and you also do a lot of reminders during the hitting. And then when she's playing, you give her reminders, and eventually it can become, you know, you can change it. But sometimes just to drill is not enough. You need a lot of reinforcement during actual play, right? So I set up nice hitting for you today. You hit with Eli after this lesson, the little guy, and then I have a big guy who's much stronger. He's coming after Eli, so you gotta be, I hope you're ready. There's like Eli, he's little, but then there's a bigger guy coming. He's good. All right, so be ready. Against Eli, because he doesn't hit too hard, that's a perfect time to work on everything. Everything we're doing, footwork, stroke technique. And then against the big guy, you can just try to survive. Okay, but that's the net. The net is the enemy. You want to do the yellow line, not the white line, the yellow. If you look at that, imagine two nets. Like in your mind, try to visualize two nets. One net, and look, that second line is like two nets stacked on top of each other. And when you're playing, it's a really good idea to play over two nets. Like you imagine and you visualize. You almost see it vividly in your mind. Two nets. I'm gonna play over two nets. And if I play over two nets, I won't hit in the net, the regular net. Yeah, but if you go too high, look what happens. Yeah, so you gotta like bring it down. Okay. Good space. Can you feel it, or can you feel when you're out here? You can feel it, and you need to feel it. We can't feel it for you. I mean, we can give you reminders. Your coach back home can give you reminders, but you need to see it with your eyes, and you need to feel when you have more stretch. Like when I do this, look, you feel it. Go swing, swing slowly. Don't hurt me. Look, what do you feel? You feel stretch in your shoulder. But when you play, you can feel the same. It's kinesthetic. There's a big word for what you feel. You know, you want to feel that stretch that sometimes it's called extension. Bam! You know. Good. And you have to learn how to control it. And so you get out there, and when you're out there, then you got to flick up. You have to do this movement, like it looks like a windshield wiper, like on a car. And you go out and then wiper across. But you go all the way out and then across. And that gives you the spin. Right, so how about that one? You stretched a lot, you probably stretched too much. And what did you feel? If you stretch too much, probably less power. If you get cramped, less power. You want to try to find the optimal, the best stretch for the good power and the good spin. You got to feel it out. But this is just drill. When you're hitting later, that's where it really matters, because this is the easy part. When you're hitting and someone's bouncing the ball at you, that's where it becomes really difficult to find your space. In Spain, they say distance, distancia. You want to measure, they say measure this distance. Every time the ball is coming, you measure the distance. You measure, 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 like with a yardstick or like with a measuring tape. So every shot that's coming to you, you try to measure appropriately. You try to measure, measure, measure. And if you measure well, you're going to hit the ball, fewer mistakes. You're going to hit the ball better. Vamos. Very good. Nice. Just working that. No, just that one. Can aim for that. I mean, I don't really care, but I put it there. Good. Remember the loading. Right? You have strong legs in the shot. Nice. Nice. Perfect. Beautiful. And you have the measuring up here, and then you have the legs. What should the legs be doing? You need strong legs. So strong legs could be here. What stance is this? Yeah. Or my strong legs could be here. Yeah, more close or neutral. It doesn't matter. But you always want to have the strong legs in the shot. So if you think about lower body, what's the lower body doing? Lower body is getting loaded. You're loading your energy. And then your upper body, you're trying to stay relaxed. You keep your arm relaxed and you try to measure the space. That's what's going on. You know? Too much. Look, if I toss it deeper, you move back, you create space. Really nice swing. Was it in? It's really nice. Like that could be your future, that swing, just like that. We have it on video too. And then, almost. Ready? Almost. Nice. Stay there. Do a couple swings. Go ahead. Oh yeah, great. Okay, yeah, we got everything. Did you know we're doing Instagram live right now? Did you know you're live? You didn't know? I'm just kidding. JK, it's not live. And your thoughts?
Really good.
Yeah, it's really good. So we don't need to analyze it more. It's just that's what it should be like, kind of like that. And you need to feel that when you're playing. It needs to feel like that. It needs to look like that. You know. Nice. And adjusting. Good. Try not to go back and be neutral. You try to have, when you do your open stance, really make it open so you could roll the soccer ball through there. So open should be really open. Not that. Open. Or like that, but not in between. Try to be either really open or not. Good. Keep your balance. What height should you receive the ball? Between your, that's another way. That's another way of measuring. You measure this way, but you also measure from the ground up. Like how high should it be? You don't want to hit balls up here. We talked about how tough that is. So you want to measure a good height and good distance from your body. Very nice. Good. You want power and spin. This one you hit, and at the end you stumble. You hit it good, and at the end you lose your balance. So you want to hit it, and then at the end you should feel that you're solid. You shouldn't feel that you're tipsy. Yeah. You have this distance from your body out. That's one distance. You measure. You have this distance from ground up. You measure. And there's a third distance from your body forward, is this distance, and that's where you impact the ball. And you don't want to impact the ball too far in front. And obviously, right, you don't want to impact the ball behind, late. So in Spain, they have this great concept, the three distances that you measure. So she wants to measure out, measure up, and measure forward and back. And if she can get those three distances great, she's going to hit the ball great, you know? But if you can try to conceptualize the hitting like that, that's not often, you don't usually hear that in the States. That's a Spanish thing. It's really, really helpful. It simplifies the hitting, and the kids start focusing on their movement rather than like how they're swinging so much. Because the emphasis is on the movement. The emphasis is on seeing the ball with your eyes and adjusting, 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 adjusting. You know, that's what I want for the focus. Nice. This one is super cramped. So I don't know if you felt it. We have it on the video. This one, you're going to see like your arm, kind of like T-Rex, you know, the dinosaur. It's kind of like dinosaur arm. You want to have that straighter arm. Good. Leora. Oh, too much. Nice. Be strong in the legs. At the end of the shot, try to be balanced. Try not to be tipsy at the end. Balance in the beginning, accelerate, and then balance at the end. Bravo. Bravo. Ay, ay, ay. Moving, 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 moving. You're moving and measuring, moving and measuring, moving in, moving out, moving left, and trying to measure the distance, to keep the space. Come on. Bravo. Yeah, but you have so much power, so much torque, so much energy. Sometimes the energy pulls you out of alignment. You want to accelerate, big time acceleration, and maintain your posture. Yeah. No net. Like this. It's not stretchy. You want to try to stretch your arm out to the side. Out there. Vamos. This one. What happened? Yeah, it's important to understand what happened. The ball, you misjudged it. You didn't measure it great. And what happened to your balance? Because you didn't measure, you lost your balance. That's the key to understand. People say, be balanced. Hey, make sure you're balanced. What does that mean? It's all about measuring. And how do you measure? How do you measure well? What's the key? Wait. Come on, Leora. What's the key to measuring well? You measure with your eyes and your feet. Your eyes see the ball. You see the ball coming, and then you can't stand there. What do you need to do? Move your. So it comes back to the footwork. And we said you want to work on your footwork. It's all related to your footwork. That you measure with. If you're, let's say this is the ball, and I need to do adjusting with my feet to get the perfect measurement. So it's footwork, you know. And if you understand the concepts that I just said, you can really become a great player. You can be really good. And you have to implement it, but the philosophy is really good. Nice. Okay, between hip and shoulder. Nice. Okay, come on. Try not to lunge. Try to stay balanced and don't get too cramped. Nice. Okay, even the higher ones, you can spin. Like even the ones that are a bit higher, you can still try make your top spin. Don't slap those. Wide base, strong in the legs. Don't forget the legs. Oh. What do you think happened there? Any idea? No, well, the ball went net. Like, what do you think? You swung. I'll ask you a little bit trick question. You swung low to high, but ball went net. So, So how could it go net if you swung low to high?
Too late.
No, it's not late. You weren't late. You were on time. The ball went net, but you swung low, down, up. You swung low, high, but no. Ball went net, the ball went in the net, but what caused it to go in the net? If you swung low to high, how could it go in the net? This is a tough one, huh? So there's two things that make it go in the net. You could swing down, but in that case, you didn't swing down. You swung up, which is what you're supposed to do, but your strings were closed. So you swung up, but the strings, the actual strings, were too much down. So you could swing up, but if this closes too much, it might go in the net. So if you hit in the net, you have to figure out, okay, why did I hit in the net? Did I swing down? Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. If you swung up and it went in the net, probably you closed this, and then you have to make adjustments the next time. Or we're hitting, and you hit a ball, and it's close to the net, like 1 inch from the net. And you say, so, ooh, that's risky. What happened? Next time, I need to adjust my hand, my wrist a little, so the racket's not too close. Be careful. Don't get cramped. Keep your spacing. Not too flat. Man, you're like super powerful. You're like a spark plug. You're Sparky. That's a good nickname for you. You're very explosive, like a dynamite, like a pack of dynamite. But you don't want to do that flat. You take your power. If you add spin, you can control your shots. Not excessive spin, just good spin. Not excessive spin, just enough that you control your power. You basically modulate the power with some spin. And don't fall into the trap of feeling you need to hit everything flat. You can play with spin. Doesn't have to be a ton of spin, but good spin. Good spin to keep it safe. And that's important to find the right blend, the blend of topspin and pace. And that's different for every player. Not every player is the same. Nice. Be careful, space. Nice, very good. It's a very nice ball. I hope it feels good because it looks very clean, very nice. Yes, nice, wow. Good space, I see, space. Nice. That one, it looked like that. So I had one with space, one very cramped. Okay, that had, you tried to give more space, but your swing was flat. So you want to give more space, but also flick it up and make the spin. Right, that's right. Very good. Very, very good. Very good. Vamos. It's beautiful. Nice. You need water or anything? You good? You have any questions? Let me know. Those are sweet forehands in the end there. Do you want to put that big cone cross court, please? We'll do one set cross court. Yeah, maybe a little bit in. Okay. So that's the basic philosophical framework that I'd like her to try to basically, you try to get the kids to internalize that. It's like writing a program on a computer in a way. You want them to that to be internally programmed, so it's like in their it's hard coded into them. So they don't have. Now I'm talking about it, we're explaining it, but that should just become like, she's always working on the spacing, she's feeling that, and always making adjustments with her feet, and that comes from just reinforcement. Reinforcement learning, over time, it will become just by a part of her internal nature. That's what you want. It's not something that you consciously think about. The goal is to get that into the subconscious, where the player's just constantly reading, the ball's coming, and the player's used to adjusting the feet to the ball all the time and getting the measurements. I have another thing that I like. I like the thing about a force field. I don't know if, or you can think about this is just a space, like a big fence around you. I don't know if you have a house with a fence, yard, or if you like, some of my students like science fiction movies, like space movies. There's always like a force field in the space movies, But basically, you have this force field around you, and you don't want to let the ball get inside the force field. You have this fence around you. You don't want to let the ball into your yard, your front, So if I like this idea, this force field concept, or another thing, it's like a bubble. You imagine like a big bubble around you, and your job is to keep the ball away from your bubble, and you meet the ball out almost at the edge of the bubble or the side outside of the bubble. And what the other player's trying to do is the other player's trying to get the ball in the bubble. They're trying to mess up your contact, and your job is to protect your contact point. The other player's trying to disrupt your contact point. That's what tennis is. In a way, you can describe tennis as that's what two players, they're each trying to disrupt the other. And so your job is to protect your contact point, protect your space here at all costs, no matter what. Up, foot, always protecting your space and always keeping the force field there. So I just think that's another great visual, different ways you can think about it. And if the ball gets inside your force field, it's not the end. You can still hit the ball when you're cramped, but it's not going to be the best. But you can still play. It's not the end of the world. You can just keep fighting. All right, let's play one set cross. Keep working on, you have a height target. Right, perfect. And you have a target in the court. And you have movement and spacing. The ball's slightly different each time. Work on your stability and your acceleration. Yeah, but have to accelerate. You want a lot of racket speed. Accelerate. Nice, good power, nice. Good, that's good whip. That's your game. Like, that's what's gonna make you great. That one didn't have as much acceleration. You want to learn to accelerate and keep it in. Like that one. That's a good strong one and in, You keep trying to feel a little stretchy. Yeah, very good. Not too flat. Okay. Muy bien. Good. Oh. It's interesting. You were cramped and went in the net, Yes, good stretch. Stretch. Oh, be careful. You could go back. In the neutral, but usually you go back and then you split. You do the semi-open. I would encourage you to do that. Yes, that's okay. Good footwork. That's okay. Try again. Good. Remember, you want a big space, so you could fit like a beach ball through there, a big ball right through your feet. No. Balance, always posture and balance. Bravo. Come on, more spin. More spin and pace together. Be careful. Be careful, Leora. It's not this. Look at my arm. It's not this. I want to go out and away, and then I come over. I come over later. I want to go out first and then over. I don't want to go over right away. Lift, extend, and then wiper. Yeah, good. Good. Very nice. Good power. You can do that. You can do that, or you can do that. No problem. You figure it out. Bravo. Good spin. That's interesting because one was perfect, it had perfect space, and the second one was a little bit late and a little bit cramped, and the spin went down. Like Leora, the first one was great, and the second one, the impact changed, and the ball had less spin. Come on, less 20 or 30. It's totally like this. Look, you hit the shot. When you're like this, you have the muscle. You have to use too much muscle. Let the biomechanics work for you. Let the energy transfer better out there. Vamos. Too flat, too down. Where's the spin? Go back. Position. Nice. Nice balance. Nice. That was a tough one. Nice. Wide base. Okay, land with balance. Good. Vamos. Posture at the end. At the end, you finish the swing, and it shouldn't be like, you see, should be out here. You should be a lot wider. You should be a lot wider at the end. You not like that. It should be wider than you started. Do the beginning. So whatever, see that? At the end, you should be at least that wide, if not wider. Make that V, the triangle. Bravo. Not too flat. Okay, nice. Wider base. Widen your base. Widen your hips. Bravo. This total muscle shot, total muscle. You go up to it, you get close to the ball, and you muscle it. You want to keep the space and just release the energy. Don't try to muscle it through. Bit of a tip. There. The physics are really cool. That you get this, the tip of the racket moves faster when you can get this arm straighter. Like it's just physics, it's science. It's really cool. The straighter you can get this arm, if you can accelerate it well, you're gonna get faster tip. The tip of the racket's gonna move faster, and you're gonna transfer more energy into the ball with the straighter you are. Some players are totally straight. Some players have a small bend. That's okay. But when you shorten your arm this much, you start to reduce a lot of that power transfer. So the physics are really cool there. Nice circular swing. Nice. Make like a circle. Try not to make like a straight line. Make a nice circle around. That's too high. It looks cramped. In the beginning, if you go like this oftentimes sets up a cramped swing. If you cramp in here, and then the swing gets cramped. If you stay away here, oftentimes that will help to keep the space. All right, last couple, last four. Okay. Bravo, very nice. Very good space. So you had good space. Your arm was extended. It went, why did it go net? You swung low to high. Why did it go net?
My racket faces.
It has to be. It has to be the racket face. See, your IQ is going up. Very good forehand. I don't care if it's out. Very good. Good balance, loading, and you send the ball very well. Okay, let's talk about similar stuff on the backhand side, and then I want to do some tough movement after that, so I hope you're ready. But this is the easy stuff. This is the adjusting, and we got to do some backhands. Do we have any balls or no? Balls? Maybe I'll set up a new camera place. Can you do a few swings from there? Let me see. Hold on. All right, let's see. Okay, and come back a little bit. Okay, nice. Leora, I'm sorry you came to rainy Vermont, but the summer is usually quite sunny and beautiful. They call this time in Vermont the mud season. Yeah, I live right in, yeah, you know where I live. I live right in town. It's awesome because we can walk into the main street. And we're from the city, so we wanted to be able to walk places. Like some people move to Vermont and they want to live like on a big property way off in the mountains, and they don't want any people. And our property, we got so lucky because it's perfect for us. It's like quiet, but you can just walk down the hill into town. It's really cool. So for us, it was awesome because we were used to like walking lifestyle in Manhattan, and we wanted like to be able to walk places, not just drive. But I think also some people move to Vermont and buy like big 50 acres, hundreds of acres, and they have their own farm, and that's cool. That's kind of cool too. But it's more isolating. In the wintertime, it can be very isolating if you can't walk anywhere, you know. Can walk to stuff? I like that. But I'm saying usually you have people that move to Vermont, one or the other. They either want something like they don't want us to meet they want to be able to just have their whole lives, no people, or they want to be in a little town. I think we found a nice mix. We got very lucky. It's very hard to buy property in Manchester right now. Like the housing market went crazy. So like we got very lucky. All right. Backhand, same stuff, similar stuff. You have your force field, same is very similar. The ball's coming, you're reading it, and you try to keep the space. You try to keep a good space, and then you try to hit the ball with power and spin, like a blend, mix. You mix the power and then mix it up. Ready? Try to find the yellow line. We talked about that open stance, and you definitely should learn that. Sometimes on the back end, players do a little more of the close one, but I think the future is the open stance. So the more you can practice the open stance, it's good for you because you're going to use it a lot. You use the open stance backhand, going back, and you use it going to the side here. And if you watch the pro women, you watch like Iga Swiatek, or you watch Coco, you watch Rybakina, there's so much open stance now on the backhand. So I think that's important to practice that. Well, good target. Very good target. Nice, come on. But when you're coming forward, this is usually stepping in one. This one, you can practice that. This one is usually the right foot, and then if you go back, you switch to the left foot. So Estella, I would say, you don't have to make major changes to the technique, because you want to save time too, because she's like a little behind also. Tennis is such an early specialization sport. She's behind some of the girls at 11 and a half. So you want to save time. You don't want to do technique that doesn't matter. But one thing I would suggest is maybe as Leora gets bigger, we try to get the backswings a little more compact. She's got quite a large loop on the backhand side. And you'd ideally be a little more like Coco. If you look at Coco's backhand, that's a great example. Her backhand is more in here, and your backhand goes, she goes around her body. And as you get, you can do that. There are pro women who do that. Think of like a Madison Keys, for example, or a lot of women have bigger backswings. But there is also an argument to be made for future technique for women. A lot of women are doing more like the men. They're doing more compact swings, and they don't take a lot of the modern women don't take such a large swing. Coco, for example, this is very, very much in there. Another one would be Badosa. Do you know Paula Badosa? It's a great technique for a female player. Navarro is another one. But Badosa, for example, she has basically ATP technique structure, which means a compact acceleration. And that's very different than the big looping style. One of the advantages of having the compact swing is you can take the ball earlier, you can handle pace better, and you won't get late. Because the speed of the game is ever increasing. The speed of the game at the pro level is getting higher and higher. So it sort of meshes well with the modern compact technique. So I'm not saying you change it right now. Like notice I didn't say anything, but that might be something to discuss down the road. You can start making some modifications. You can start, what I do is I sort of do like a gentle landing on that, rather than just say, all right, we're making it small. Usually I do take a gradual approach, and we do some exercises. We work on making the swing more compact, and hopefully she grows into that, rather than just like forcing it on her, because that can be quite difficult and kind of traumatic by just changing it, So because do you know your swing's quite big? Is big. The backhand's bigger than the forehand. The backhand is a giant loop. So when you do it, you go like this. Go ahead. You go, yeah. And sometimes I think when you want more power, you go, whoa. And so she's way over here. And what like Coco does, for example, Coco's like here. That's it. Like saves a lot of time. Because she's so explosive, I bet you she could learn that technique, especially as she gets a little older, bigger and stronger. So it's just something to put in your mind. That might be a project at some point that you carve out some time to work on it, or we start encouraging her to do that. For example, return a serve. That can help you so much. If you learn to be like this on return a serve, you can generate force from a small take back. It's a big advantage on returning serve, for example, or dealing with any kind of fastballs. Nice. Let's go. Come on. Nice. I don't know if your coach taught you this, but it's really good. Like you get a really full turn. Did someone teach you to turn like that? It's fantastic. You turn big time. This shoulder turn is great. Like keep doing that. And just make sure after you turn, look, I do a big turn, but after I turn, I want to release all that. I want to open, and I want to rotate basically. But so you have the beginning rotation, you turn great, and then but sometimes it looks like you get a little caught there sideways. Make sure once you turn, look, everything has to rotate back open. But you close everything, it's awesome. Close, 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 but don't stay closed. You have to open and release the energy. Yeah, very nice. Like, dude, your backhand can be a scary shot. It can be an amazing shot. I can see it one day, maybe pro tour, you know, top college. You can do it. Let's go. Ready? Vamos. 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 Okay. It's a little out, totally flat. No spin on that one. You need to have a little bit of spin. You don't have to have a lot, but a little. Like control. It's like insurance, you know? You know, I go to Spain a lot, and you buy the tickets to Spain. You buy the plane tickets, and then they ask you, do you want the insurance in case you get sick or something comes up? And usually I don't get the insurance, but it doesn't cost that much. Like they have the tickets like maybe $1,000 and the insurance is like, you know, $50 or something. But in this case, you want the insurance. Check the box. Every time you hit, most of the time you want to hit with a little bit of insurance on your shots. You don't need to just wing it. Ready? Yes, very nice. Good job. I like it. Stay balanced. Yeah, so you're doing this and you're working on this. This is great. So after you explode, you have to try not to get tipsy, not to get wobbly. You shouldn't. There shouldn't be like. This shouldn't be happening. You know, you need to be strong. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, come on. Okay. I like it. It's very good. Okay, come on. Fast acceleration. And a big quick three. You can go slow. You have a lot of time right now. You can go slow, quick. If the ball comes fast, you can prepare faster. But if the ball's not coming fast, you have time and fast through the ball. Accelerate through the ball. Come on. Yeah, good open stance. You're working on that? That's nice. So set it up wide, and then drop. Yeah. Vamos. Tough one. I like it. I like how you skip back. Good footwork. Nice. Come on. Nice. Can I see your grips? The grips, there's normal grips. Nice. Nice. Did you know her forehand is Western grip? You knew that?
Yeah, I think the coach trying to change, but I don't know.
I don't think that's going to go very well. I wouldn't change it. Because it's very disruptive and can shatter a kid's confidence. So I would be. It's a fair debate whether to change it or not. I would. My experience dictates probably not, because if you try to change her grip, she's gonna lose all her confidence in that shot, and it's a good shot. And the other thing, do you know what I mean? Western grip. You know what I'm talking. You're listening, right? This is important. I think it's going to be a big weapon the way it is. I don't think she's going to have a difficulty generating power, but that's a big concern with the Western grip. And the only other thing you need to mitigate is low balls. There's low balls. So if we just work on her getting down and then whipping underneath low balls, she should be okay. And the other reason is, in the women's game, you have a lot of evidence that the Western grip doesn't hurt the women's game. Maybe even the men as well, because you see two of the top women in the world have a Western grip just like yours. Who's that?
Iga and Coco.
They're making millions of dollars, and you could argue, well, maybe they're amazing athletes, and it would be better if they didn't have a Western grip. But you just have a lot of examples of women with a Western grip who are succeeding and doing very well. So I think if you try to change it, it could really backfire. You know, You could try if you really, like some parents are really into that. They want the clean grips, you know, but I'm more open-minded. I think she can still play great, and you save yourself a lot of heartache and time. But if you come back to me and you're like, Chris, the grip, is, we need to change semi-Western, I can guide you with that, but it's tricky to do that. And it's very time-consuming. What are your thoughts about the grip? Do you know what I'm talking about, or what?
Yeah.
A lot of coaches will see your grip and they kind of freak out. But they shouldn't freak out, because it's just like a little turn of your hand. It's not that big a deal. You just got to learn to handle. You got to learn to handle low balls, and you got to learn to generate pace. And then if you have a Western grip, what's the big advantage of a Western grip?
Spin.
Right. So it would make sense to build a game that uses that advantage, that leverages that advantage. So she should learn to go back and play a nice heavy spin shot, sometimes bounce it up high, then follow it up with power, because that's a big advantage of Western grip. A lot of coaches in the U.S. especially talk, oh, Western grip, so negative. There's positives. You can hit more spin, and you can get heavy balls. So, I don't. My gut says probably don't change that thing. Save time and figure it out, But some coaches see that and they don't know what they can't process it in their mind, like. But if you meet coaches like that, maybe show them some videos of Coco and Iga, and you see women at the very top of the game with that same grip. It's a pretty compelling argument, Okay, we finish this bucket and then we work on something else with a different type of movement. You're doing great. You're very dialed in, and I like your technique right now. Okay, I believe we talked about this yesterday. So let's say the ball's there. Good thing we got all this stuff on video. The ball's there. You can watch your own lesson or send it to your team. The ball's there. You go up to it and look. What's happening? You sort of lean into it. You're like, I want to hit it. No, but you want to stay like this. The only thing that goes forward is your hands. You go. That goes forward. You don't want to go up to it and get forward. If you go like this, if your head goes like this, then everything goes like this, because the head is like a weight. It's like a weighted ball. Like a melon, heavy melon, like a watermelon. She goes like this, Estella, and the next thing you know, the impact's going to be cramped. Very important. Small detail, very important. You arrive, what goes forward? The racket. The racket goes forward. This don't go forward. I have a funny saying. This is your head. And that is what? The racket head. Two heads. So you have two heads. And they say two heads are better than one. There's an old saying, two heads are. But in this case, one head goes forward, one head stays. You don't put this head forward. Which head goes forward? Yeah, racket head goes forward. Not that head. Ready. Be careful, because you do that a lot. You have to feel it. Because a lot of times you go. It's like someone come here and put their hand on your head, and then you swing. This habit is so common. Kids want to hit harder, so what do? They go, and then the next thing you know, the ball's not good. Don't hit the ball good. It's like it takes a lot of it feels weird. Like I want to hit that ball. No. Yes, if you do that, you're gonna get remember, it's all about the measuring, distance, space. Yes, a nice visual is to imagine a glass of water on your head, balancing a book on your head, and you should be able, a cup, and you want to hit really fast without changing this. Most people, when they want to hit hard, the head starts, you see, and you keep your head totally still. Vamos. Bravo. I really like it. I really like it. I like all of it. More racket speed. Yes, posture. Oh. And net, look, and net. Yes? Look at the difference. The one before, problem here, ball net. And then you adjust it, and what happened? It goes much better. Bravo. World-class backhand. WTA backhand. Pro Tour backhand. Okay? Come on. Last 15 or 20. Bravo. Fast racket, fast racket. Come on. Over the yellow or to the yellow and with some top spin. When you do the, what happened there?
Hit down.
You swung down. You literally swung down, and you saw what happened. You go back here, I load. And then as I come through, I need to jump. You need to rotate. So you jump and rotate, and everything gets wider. Be careful, don't land on your heels. If you land on your heels, you're gonna be all off balance. So you load here, and then you land. If you look carefully, you see how I'm actually a little bit off the ground with my heels. I'm on my toes a little bit. That's really important for the balance. And then that's important for the next movement that's going to happen after. Ready, last 10. Very beautiful backhand, beautiful. Come on. Try to measure, you have the space. Be careful, Leora. Bravo. Bravo. Come on. Come on, step up. Good, keep the space. Bravo. Come on, come on, come on. Space, last 3. No net, be careful. Lift up. Okay, nice. Good job. Okay, so I want to go quickly through a footwork. While we're here, I'll show you just a couple examples. So I want to work on your slicer. So I want to leave time to work on the slicer. But, okay, you're going out this way. And can you do one? Let me make sure we can see it. Go ahead. Oh yeah, you're good. Okay, so this is important. You come out here, wide ball. You're gonna do your open stance, and then watch what happens. As soon as I land, this foot is gonna come across, big crossover, one crossover, and then side shuffle back. That's your recovery. And then on the other side, it's similar. And I go big crossover, side shuffle. All right, you want to try that? So Estella, when she's moving laterally, this is like super critical. You got to train this. With most kids, you got to train this. So you have the adjustments in and out, the spacing, all of that good stuff. And then you have the stuff where you're like running to the sides and you have to get back. That's very common. If the kids don't train that, they're usually not very consistent. So they hit balls in the middle, but as soon as somebody hits like a wide ball, the rally breaks down. And so that's what you want to teach the young kids, how they can move to the side, be consistent, and get back to the middle and maintain rallies so they can go have that high level of consistency. So we were just talking about footwork. I'm trying to quantify that for you. Like when we say we need to work on footwork, this is what I mean. The stuff we did in the beginning, which is a lot of the spacing and adjustments and balance and posture. And then you have footwork that's very specific, lateral movement and recovery. That's high priority footwork. There are other footworks that I can teach Leora, but we're just trying to set priorities, you know. All right, you ready? All right, so it's a tough ball. Yes, and then try if you can. I'm not warmed up, so I'm not going to do it fast, but try to explode this quick. Almost like you're jumping out of there. You're exploding out of there. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Let's do a few, and then we'll move on to your serve. Good. So usually you only do one crossover and then shuffle. So you go crossover and then you shuffle. One crossover. You usually don't have time to do two crossovers. Try to do one. But this looks like maybe you practiced this before. This is nice. This is pretty good. But just so you remember, when you're playing points, this movement, if somebody hits a wide shot, you've got to use this footwork. You can't try any. You don't want to try anything different. Ready? Vamos. Good. Try to explode out of there. Good. Now how about the spacing here? Go. One more. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go. Okay. So you never want to go out here and step this way, because this blocks your hip. And now it's going to take a long time to recover out of that. You always want to you go and you use your left leg. And the pros, you see Coco and Iga, they actually slide. They go out here. A lot of times they'll slide. And sometimes they even do like a split. I don't know if you can do a split. Can you do a split? Some girls can. Full split. I have some girls who can do full split. And you can hit from a split position. What's my point? My point is, don't cross hip. Don't cross with your right hip. She should learn to slide on the hard courts, and she should learn to get more, basically learn to hit like from these positions. That's what all the top players do that now. So I teach that. I've been teaching that for a long time now. All right, ready? Vamos. Outside leg, right. So you can just try one very gently. Try to go like this. Just do it slowly. Be careful. Ready? No, I mean, do. You keep going out. And then you load up, and then you swing. You have to swing without losing your balance. But so you can train the kids to do that, and then obviously they're young, so they're not as strong as like a pro female. But also you can imagine this is something you could easily work on in the gym. You can use medicine balls. You can start to train this strength out here, you know. Nice, yeah. Basically, eventually, you want to learn to be able to hit from that position, from the split position. It's important. Good. And then, when I mentioned to you yesterday, when you shuffle, this sound shouldn't be happening. You know, that doesn't sound good. You know, last three. Go out. Good. Make sure the crossover is direct. You go directly there. Don't cross over forward. That costs you a lot of time. You cross over on the diagonal back to where you want to go. Move back, move back. Good footwork, nice. Then you got to power out of the corner. And that has to become really fast. You can train that to where you hit it and you explode out of that, off that left leg, you explode, you get a power crossover coming back. Last one. Good. Don't slap like that. Make sure you brush the ball, lift the ball. Ready? Go back, go back, go. One more. Go, 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 Lior. Go, go, go. Okay, there should be urgency. You're in that corner, you're in trouble. You need to get back quick. All right, forehand side. You know how to do it? Can you do this? Get out here. Split. And then swing. Ready. Cross and then shuffle. Good job. Go back. Tough one. Okay, better. I just moved camera. It's okay, you're good. Okay. On this side is the right leg. You land like a ninja, push off the outside leg, and then what? Cross, big cross, and shuffle. Pretty good. Make sure it's a straight line because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So you don't want to deviate from that line. Move on the diagonal. Ready. Vamos. Good. And then other side. Crossover and side shuffle. Okay, that didn't look right. You look kind of like this. That's not going to do it. You got to be out here. Boom. Look, I load, get wide, and get the soccer ball through there, and then, bah. That's the key when you're moving to the side. You got to get that set up. Crossover, side shuffle. Don't touch your shoes when you're shuffling. Feed, feed, feed. Go back. Go. Crossover, side shuffle. You could work on your spacing. I like the space. Good. Good, Lior. When you cross over, try not to cross over here. That's not very far. Try to maximize your crossover. Maximize the stretch. Stretch your hip. Maximize the distance with the crossover move. Last couple. Nice, nice. Vamos. Shuffle. Come on, moving, moving, moving. Open stance. Better, better. So I'm here, I'm stable. I hit. I'm very stable, and then I push off this leg. Push off this leg. Boom. Last three. Vamos. It didn't look so good. You look kind of like this. Look, this is not a good sign. They're collapsing the knees. Vamos. Bravo, bravo. Nice one. Yeah, great. Super. Okay, so that covers some fundamentals of movement, and those are things I will train with her, and I want her to do at home. You have all of the spacing stuff, balance, a lot of details, small details there to clean. Sometimes in Spain that's called cleaning. You clean the movement every day. You clean, clean, clean until she has flawless balance, great stability. She's measuring awesome, you know. So that's the cleaning. And then you have these special situations. The most important situation is the lateral. That's where kids break down. Like they're rallying and then they just can't maintain the rally when they're running a lot. So you teach the kids how to run and stop and recover. And then on top of that, there's some footworks up here when she's attacking. Probably we should work on that, but not today. But there is footwork here, and sometimes there's some special footwork going back deeper, but this is usually the area that kids struggle with. They have trouble making attack shots here, and a lot of times that's footwork related. So that we can leave for another day. I thought we should work a little on the slice serve, Leora. Slice serve. What's up, bro? How are your feet? How is icing my feet? Too. All right, warm up your serve. All right, let's do a short serve lesson here. We'll talk about the slice. I want you to try a little more grip with the slice serve and also with your kick serve. I think that will help you a lot. Okay. Maybe come out here a little bit. That's good. So if your normal grip, show me your normal grip. Yeah. So I would definitely move that to about probably there. This is very common, like on Pro Tour. This is like a pro continental grip. I would definitely, that's if you learn that, it's not going to feel very good. Probably you're going to hate it at first, but you're going to get amazing curve, big time curve. So see, try it. Try not to, don't cry about it. Or don't change. I'm going to mark it for you. Don't change it. Okay, yes. So you can think about this as kind of like a spin serve grip. And you might not use this grip for your regular serve. Do it. Hold it. Okay, sorry. So this, you see this line? Sorry to mess up your grip. This, and then this. Try to line up those arrows. Another, maybe not that far. Maybe there. And then this. It's another way to think about it, like this V. But there's like an arrow here. Try to get in there, somewhere in there. Before you were, do the one from before. Yeah, see how it's over on the side? Try to match it up here. Okay, fair enough. You want to try it? Okay, so that's the grip, and then up here, go ahead, you got it. Up here, you got to be like a whip. Whoopsh, let your wrist move. Whoopsh, whoopsh. You have grip and whip. It rhymes. You have space and base. Grip and whip. Easy to remember. Okay, nice. Good spin, Leora. Good spin. I want a slice serve that has massive curve. Big time curve. That also rhymes. Slice serve with curve. Come out here a little bit. Okay. You have to toss to the right. You have to jump with your legs. Good. So figure out how to aim that and get it a little higher. You're tossing behind you. you're tossing to the left. When we were playing points, a few points yesterday, I saw the same thing. You toss, this is the left. You're tossing to 11 o'clock. You have 12 o'clock and then 1 o'clock. I would definitely toss closer to 1 o'clock for your slice serve and your flat serve. Your kick serve, 11 o'clock, just as a general rule. You toss, you do a kick serve toss for all your serves right now. You should have first serve toss, flat, and slice over here. And then if you're learning a kick serve, which is cool, you toss the kick serve more to the left. There's a little difference. That's the easy way to learn it. There's no way that was to the right. 1 o'clock's like, this is, your head's here. This is 12. And then here over on this side is 11, is a 1. You know? Better toss. Nice. And then you're going to jump in and land on one leg. You land on your left leg. The toss to the right. Land on your left leg. Let's do it. When you're learning a new grip for the serve, a lot of times it'll slip back, but try to check it. Keep checking it. You have your setup here. Nice. And then stay whippy, stay loose. Good slice. Nice. The faster you swing, the more slice you'll get on it. Good. Didn't curve super a lot though. And maybe go a little more. Try it. Don't change it. Don't change it. Don't change it. Leave it. Now hit it. Don't change it. Don't change it. Good. Sounds great. Sounds like spin. You need some balls? You want to take some balls to warm up? You toss to the left. Nothing's going to help you if you toss to the left. You toss back here on the slice serve, it doesn't work so good. And your balance, you're falling over, you know? Toss more to the right, please. Yes, more, even more. So that's not to the right. That's it would have landed right on your head. So that means it's 12 o'clock toss. Yes? Okay. Good. That was like 2 or 2:30, but yes, more to the right. And then I think the grips keep slipping back. You want to keep more grip right in there, and then stay whippy. Keep loose in your wrist, but don't lose the grip. It's tricky. Okay, you want to use your legs to propel your body up. You want to get tall. Maximize your height. Nice. Good job. Good toss. That was one of the better ones. So when it hits the ground, when the ball hits the ground, you should really see it curve a lot. Like not even a little. Like it should really veer off to the left. You see a big curve after the bounce. You see a big curve to the left. That's what we want. And that's hard to return. The other girl's going to be waiting for it, and she's going to be like, "Wow." Toss. More where I am. More out here. More to the right. Yes. Yes. Good one. Nice. When you use a little more grip, like a more aggressive grip that I showed you, the serve in the beginning is going to be a little slower because you're cutting it more. So it's going to be slower. But over time, you'll get good speed on it, and more importantly, you'll get a more curve. Good. Leora, when you bring your feet together, when you bring your foot up, you want to tuck your feet in together. You don't want to have like a big separation. No, don't forget, the legs are important. You bring your feet up, you have your feet close together. You don't want to be out here. You don't want to open your hip too soon. And then you want to load your back leg and explode up, hopefully with a good toss to the right, and then you'll maximize your height and your energy transfer. Up, 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 up. Okay, good. And then at the end, kind of like the icing on the cake, is this sweet split landing. You know, that's how pretty much all the pros finish here. This goes back, hip extension. Good spin. So that new grip, you're going to have to work on it for a month, maybe back home with your coaches as well. And if you need to play, like if you need to play later today, probably won't be able to use it. Just use your regular grip and then just slowly work on the new grip. So that if she has a tournament, you're not going to be able to play with this grip not just yet. Good, but it's not slicing enough. You have to swing faster, and the toss needs to be to the right of your body. Yes, more to the right. Yes, much better. But it looks to me like when you toss to the right, your right foot goes, you toss to the right appropriately, good toss to the right, and your foot starts to go out that way. Tuck your feet in together. Try to have 2 feet together. Tuck in. Try not to step out like this. You don't want to have space like that. Okay, and then always do like a grip check. I do like a grip recheck. Regular grip check. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Accelerate. Accelerate. You have to really go after it. Feet together. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nice. That was really cool. How'd that one feel?
Good.
That was pretty cool. That had like a nice blend. Remember we were talking about blending pace and spin? That one had a nice speed and a good curve. The slice serve is like, for female players, usually the slice serve is the big weapon, the most popular serve, the one they love. So I would like for you to think that your slice serve that's my favorite serve. I love my slice serve. And my slice serve gets me a lot of points. Good grip. Good job. It takes some time. But like many kids Leora's age, she's early. And did we talk? I don't know if we talked about it yesterday. Maybe not. She's early in her racket goes into here early. And that's a little tougher thing to fix. I may need to work on that. But basically, you want to delay here. You don't want the racket coming down into here before the legs drive. You want the racket to be out here, coming around, and then the legs need to fire sooner. So she has the opposite. Her racket comes down in here. She's early with her racket and then late with her jump. So that's another thing. That mismatch is kind of a power loss. So we need to work on that as well. But I thought a fun project would just be to work on the new grip, try to get the toss to the right, clean up the other details, just in terms of planning, clean up the other details, get the slice curving more. It's like a weapon that she can see tangible benefit right away, and then address the early racket drop. She's basically coming up too soon into there. There should be more of a lag or like delay as she's going to load. So that's sort of what I see, in terms of the serve. Do you know what I mean by sometimes you come in, you don't want the racket in the back scratch too early. Like you don't want to come in there. You'd like to be out here more. So that's something we can work on. Okay, so if you toss like that, you're going to get a top spinny slice. It's going to be like a slice with a lot of topspin. If it's a second serve and you want to make it safe, or you could toss it back here and you could add topspin to your slice. Or if you want a faster slice, you would toss more in front and the ball will skid and stay lower. There's like 2 slices. In my new book, do you know my new book? Do you know the name?
I forgot what it's called.
Winning Pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Winning Pretty. Not Winning Ugly. That's a different book. It's a famous book. Winning Ugly is a famous tennis book. Winning Pretty hopefully will be as successful as Winning Ugly. But I always ask my students, if you had a choice, would you prefer to win ugly or win pretty?
Pretty.
Usually they say win pretty. But anyway, in that book, I talk about the 2 slices. There's 2 types of slices. One is where you toss here. You did it maybe by accident, and you hit the topspin slice. Topspin slice bounces high. Most people just think there's one slice. No, 2 slices. And then the first serve slice, you toss forward and you can keep it low and it skids and it's faster. So just be aware of that. When you're working on your slice, there's 2 types of slices and most of that's dependent on where you toss in relationship to your body. Nice, nice. Keep working on it. Does it feel weird? It feels weird, huh? Yeah. It is a challenge to get used to that new grip, but I think it's so effective at getting more spin. I usually teach it that way. Occasionally, occasionally there are players who can get a good spin without more grip, but that's rare. Usually the grip helps a lot, you know. Yeah. Toss to the right. Yeah, she gets so early. It's good spin. She gets so early in here, it reduces the power. You want to have a hesitation and then go. Oh, we can work on that. Make sure the feet are coming together and you have a good leg drive. Yeah, see, that's good power. Good power with a nice blend of spin. Nice. All right. Last 2, and we'll save this, and I'll give you an upload of this. You need to rest and snack because you have a bunch of hitting coming up. You know, you're looking great. You seem like very focused this morning, and super coachable. I feel like when I'm talking, like you're really listening. It's really nice. It makes me feel good as a teacher. Almost. You can curve it. The cool thing about that grip is you can, one of the coolest things, you can start to aim it and you can get it shorter and it can spin out to the side. You get ace almost every time if you learn it. And with the other serve, the slice goes deeper. With this one, you can make it go shorter if you learn it. Yeah. All right. Nice. Good job. Rest a little. We have, I would do some snack. Super job.